Hello, I hope you find yourself well in the Lord. I want to share something that most of us struggle time to time. We're all humans, of course. We're going to fall short of the glory of God, right? So, if you know the story about Mary and Martha when Jesus went to visit to their home, how Martha was so busy cooking and doing all kinds of stuff, while Mary was at Jesus' feet, listening to him, right? Just admiring Jesus being there. And Martha complained to Jesus and said, "Do you not care that my sister's having me do everything, all the work?" And Jesus tells her, "Oh, Martha, you're worried about too many things," like saying, chill out, right? And Jesus tells her, like, your sister has chose the best part. Spend time at his feet, like literally sitting in front of Jesus. And so that teaching there is that's what a lot of us do. We get so worked up, so busy, even if it's serving for God, even at church or whatever, that we forget to spend time with God. How many people don't do that? To be honest, I don't do that because God taught me that a long time ago. But he does remind me so I won't fall into that. And so the reason I'm sharing is because we as humans, we would start to worry about all kinds of stuff, right? And I want to share a personal experience that was today. Yesterday, I was so concerned about something I had to pay. And you're going to laugh about this because I was even laughing. Like, I was so concerned about something that I had to pay. It was a membership of something. And I was like, I really don't want to spend that money because it was over $100. I'm like, I really don't want to spend that money. I was like, that's too much for the budget that I have right now. Like, I don't want to spend that much to renew the membership. But if I don't renew the membership, I can't use the membership, right? I don't want to say the name of what, because people might be like, oh, you're talking about. Anyways, that was worried and concerned, right? That was yesterday. But before I went to work, God had me read Matthew chapter 6 and verses 25 all the way to 34, where it's talked about not to be worried about tomorrow. Leave it at God's hands. He has it all handled. He had me read that in the morning. But even throughout the day, I was worrying, like, should I pay it? Should I not pay it? That's a lot of money, this and that. And then during my lunchtime at work, I called the company to tell them, like, hey, my membership is due. It's $130. And you guys were supposed to send me something in the mail, to remind me. Because I was going to try to see if they could extend the due date, I guess, the due date. And even downgrade the membership so I wouldn't have to spend the amount, over $100. And she goes, oh, your membership, it doesn't expire till 2027. And I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, your membership doesn't expire till year 2027. And I'm like, how is that so? My membership is due very soon and I haven't paid it. So how is that so? I wanted an explanation because I wanted to make sure that this was not a mistake. And she goes, let me search. So she did her research and she goes, oh, so it looks like last year when you renewed your membership, you manually paid it ahead, but you got charged. So technically, I paid it twice last year in 2025 for 2026. So it turns out that I paid my membership for 2 years. I paid it for 2026 and for 2027 without even knowing. I said, okay, thank you. I hung up and I was laughing so hard and I'm talking to God and I'm like, I'm driving, right? Because I'm driving to the gas station and I'm talking to God and I said, you are so funny. I was like, you're so funny because you saw how I was getting stressed out because I didn't want to pay this money for the membership, but I was already paid for. Paid for. It was done a long time ago and I didn't even know that. I was laughing and I even went to my account on the app and it said 2027 and I said, I just couldn't believe it. And I was laughing because God told me in the morning, don't worry. I was worrying about it. And then I still called the company so they can tell me that it's been paid for. I paid it. I paid it in advance without even knowing that I got charged. I have paid it manually and I still got charged and I never caught it. That I got paid. That I paid it twice. So I shared this because, like I said, many of us worry about too many things when God already has it handled. We are humans. We will think like this, but we have to learn how to control it and to literally leave it at God's feet, have Him handle it because He is our Father. So I hope that if you can relate to this video, that you will know what I'm coming from, and that it reminds you to read Matthew chapter 6 and to be like, hold up, why am I stressing? Why am I worrying? If I believe in God and trust God, why? Why? I was in that situation. That just happened yesterday. But anyways, God bless. Take care. And Jesus Christ is King.